Hello, namaste. Hello, dear students and viewer. It's me Uday Kumar Mallik and also called Mallik sir. I'm your new mathematics teacher of class 9, and today I will teach you the chapter mensuration. In mensuration, it is the branch of geometry which deals with the to measure different kinds of figures. In figures, a line, triangle, angles, many things, many objects, or plane object or different object, all we measure. Okay, so from the basic concept we will go. What is the measurement? What is the measurement? From there we start, and then after we discuss furthermore. Okay, now slide please. Pepsan Rupandei. This program is organized by Pepsan Rupandei, and I am the teacher of class 9 and compulsory mathematics, chapter mensuration. Next please. Okay, mensuration, we have heard this word many times in many classes, mensuration. But what is the meaning of mensuration? So here is given, the mensuration is the branch of geometry that deals with the measurement of length, area, volume of different figures and object which is found surrounding us. Or simply we can say that mensuration is the process of measuring anything, any object, like lines, shape, books, duster, classrooms, our bodies. Our body is also a combination of different shape and size, different objects, everything. So simply when you see mensuration, or when we learn, or when we heard mensuration, it means it is related with the measurement, it is related with the measuring. The measuring thing is many things. We measure perimeter, we measure area, so many things. When we heard or when we listen mensuration, it means the measurement or to measure. Okay, next please. The figures, in mensuration we deals with the different kinds of figure surrounding us. So many figure, any figure, if you see anything, you will get some figure there. We are surrounded by many figures. So what type of figure may be there? Like here, this spherical, cone, cylinder, cube, pyramidal, or many more things. We are surrounded by figures. You have your body is also a kind of figure. Your book, your pen, your copies, your TV, your mobile, your laptop, all are a kind of figures which we deals in mensuration. We teach or we learn how to measure different thing of these figures. Okay, next. These are some more examples of geometrical shape or figure. The shape may be square, rectangle, circle, oval, rectangular, triangle, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, cube, sphere, cylinder, cone, rectangular prism, pyramid, and more. There are many more figures surrounding us. But if we see, then we can make these basic shapes from the figure. Next. Okay, now see figures of the mensuration, or what we measure in mensuration. So we measure figures, and all the figures are divided in two parts. The first part is called plane figure or two-dimensional figure, or in short 2D figure. Then other part is called solid figure or three-dimensional figure or 3D figure. If we classify any figures surrounding us, we can classify in this two way, and we study mensuration in this two field. Two figure a two-dimensional figure and three-dimensional figure. Two-dimensional figure is also called plane figure, three-dimensional figure is also called solid figure. So, in this chapter we deals with these two kinds of figure. So, you remember that only two kinds of figure is this plane figure and solid figure. Next, now plane figure in detail. Plane figure, two-dimensional figure or 2D figure. What is the 2D figure or plane figure? What is its characteristics? Now see, plane figure have only length, breadth, but it does not have height or depth, only length and breadth. It has only length and breadth, that is why it is called two-dimensional figure. And in two-dimensional figure what we find? We find perimeter or circumference and area, perimeter and area, or perimeter and area, circumference and area. In two-dimensional figure or in plane figure we generally find these two things. And plane figure is also classified in two ways or two parts: one-sided plane figure, one-sided closed figure, and three or more than three-sided closed figure. In plane figure you be considered that the figure may be closed. If figure is not closed, then it is not called a plane figure. To be a plane figure, the figure may be closed, the figure may be of one-sided or three or more than three-sided. The figure one-sided closed figure is called circle. Circle is a one-sided closed figure. Then remaining triangle, quadrilateral, parallelogram are the plane figure closed by three or more sides. But be careful that there is no two-sided plane figure, because two-sided means if we make two lines no figure is closed. That is why to be careful that one-sided figure is there, three-sided figure is there, four-sided figure is there, then why not two-sided figure is there? Then you remember that if we make two-sided figure it is not closed. That is why no two-sided boundary figure are there in plane figure. So, when plane figure, when you see or when you listen about plane figure, then you should remember that plane figure have only length and breadth, but it does not have any depth or height. And in plane figure we find perimeter, area or circumference and area. And then after, circle is a one-sided closed figure, and triangles, quadrilateral, parallelogram, pentagon, hexagon are the plane figure closed by three or more side. You should remember, and there is no two-sided plane figure. Okay, thank you. Next, please. And these are the example of some two-dimensional figure. We have already seen this type of figure in previous classes or in your surrounding. It is given circle, oval, triangle, square, trapezium, diamond, rhombus, parallelogram, rectangle, pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nonagon, decagon. These all are the example of plane figure, and there is more figure also. Next, and solid figure, three-dimensional figure. What is three-dimensional figure there? The figure having length, breadth and height or depth, all three things, then it is called three-dimensional figure or solid figure. You have already seen that cube, cuboid, these all are the three-dimensional figure or solid figure, and many things around us are solid figure. I have already given you example, your book, your mobile, your board, your TV, all are the example of solid figure. So, solid figure have length, breadth, height or depth, but in plane figure has only length and breadth. Only length and breadth, that is why plane figure is also called two-dimensional figure, and in three-dimensional figure there is length, breadth and height. Next, see some more example of solid figure, three-dimensional figure or 3D figure: cube, cuboid, square base pyramid, cone, triangular prism, triangular base, pyramid, cylinder, sphere. These all are the example of solid figure or three-dimensional figure, and many more things are also there. Next please. Now see plane figure. In plane, what are there in plane figure? What we have to calculate in plane figure? So first thing is perimeter or circumference, and second is area. In plane figure we find these two things, perimeter and area, or circumference and area. And there is little bit difference between perimeter and circumference. Meaning is same, but different is little bit different. We discuss later on. Now what is perimeter? What is perimeter? If you listen this word, what is perimeter? Its theoretical definition is the continuous line forming the boundary of a closed geometrical figure. But simply the sum of the all boundaries or all sides of a closed geometrical figure is called perimeter. When you have any plane figure, add all the boundaries, and then they will get the perimeter. And I have told you that there is a small difference between perimeter and circumference. Meaning is same, but the word is used differently. When a circle, when a figure has circular shape, then instead of perimeter we used to say circumference. But when we used to triangle, quadrilateral or parallelogram, at that time we used to call it perimeter. So only meaning is same, but word are different. Using of word are different. And what is the unit of the perimeter? The units of the perimeter is centimeter, meter, kilometer, etc. I know that you also know this word, but I am making you reminding you. Next please. Okay, now we are going to study about one-sided closed figure, that is circle. Okay, okay. Now come to the board. Please come to the board. Okay, student. In about perimeter, what I had told you, that suppose this is a triangle. This is the triangle, and the name is A, B, C. And what is perimeter? Perimeter is, what is perimeter? I have told you simply that sum of the all boundaries. If you add these boundaries, all these boundaries, then you will get perimeter. Perimeter means sum of all boundaries means A, B plus B, C plus C. If you add all these three lines, you will get the perimeter, and it is, the word is used, perimeter. Okay. Now suppose this is a quadrilateral A, B, C, D. If you add these all sides, then you will get perimeter of this quadrilateral. Means AB plus BC plus CA, CD plus DA. So this is the perimeter of quadrilateral. So these two are the plane figure. These two are plane figure. In this type of figure, we say perimeter. Okay. And suppose this is the circle. In this circle, this part is called perimeter, but we don't use perimeter. We called it circumference. Okay. One meaning is outer boundary. The outer boundary of this triangle is called perimeter. The outer boundary of this quadrilateral is called perimeter. Similarly, in pentagon, hexagon also, and in this circle also, the outer boundary is called perimeter. So when you see perimeter or circumference, you remind that it is the sum of the outer boundary or sum of the all sides. But in circle, it is not the sum, it is the outer boundary. okay, meaning outer boundary. Perimeter or circumference means outer boundary. It is clear? Thank you. Now we are going to start circle. I think you in geometry also you study the circle in detail, but in mensuration we read only some basic concept only. Suppose this is the circle, and the circle is made by using the compass or any circular object. Suppose this is a circle, and this is the center of the circle. This is the center of the circle. Okay, I have already told you that this boundary is called circumference of the circle. Circumference of the circle. This is the center of the circle. Suppose it is A, and this outer boundary is called circumference of the circle. Okay, and the circumference is denoted by C. You can use small c or capital C. Now see, this is the center of the circle, and this line is circumference. So take one point in the circumference there. Anywhere you can take the point, and you join these 2 points. One point is the center of the circle, and second point you take A here in the on the circumference of the circle. So this line is formed. The line OA is formed. This line is called radius of the circle. Radius of the circle. Okay. So what is the radius of the circle? The radius is the line which joins center of the circle with a point on the circumference, or simply the distance between the center point and the circumference is called radius of the circle. Suppose another point here is B. If you join this O and B, this is also the radius of the circle. Suppose you have one point here D. If you join this center and this circumference of the circle, then this is also radius. So what is radius? In simple way, radius is the distance between center point and the circumference. Again, what is radius? Radius is the distance between center point and circumference of the circle. So in this figure, this OA is radius. It is denoted by small r or capital R. OB is also radius. OD is also radius. You can make more. OE is also radius. These all are radius of the circle, and you remember that all the radii is the plural word. Radius is the singular word. Radii, radii, radii is the plural word for radius. So you remember that all the radii of the same circle are always equal. They all are equal. Okay. Here in the figure, OA, OB, OC, OD, OE, all are radii of the circle and all are equal, all are radius. So when you see circle, then if the line which joins the center and the circumference of the circle, that is radius. The radius may be given anywhere, here, anywhere it can be given. Only your concept is, or you know that the radius is the distance between center point and the circumference of the circle. If you remember this thing, then you can recognize anywhere if radius is there. Okay. This is about radius, and radius is denoted by small r. Circumference is denoted by small r or generally capital R. Now take Another figure. This is a circle. Again take one point here. This is the center of the circle. Suppose it is A. This is the circumference of the circle. Suppose here is a point A and you join this point, then the line OA is formed. What is OA? OA is the radius of the circle. Suppose here is another point B, and if you join O and V, then OB is also radius of the circle. Suppose this is straight line. This is a straight line, or the line AB passes through the center O. Suppose BA line or AB line passes through center O, then AB is called diameter. Again, if AB, the line AB passes through the center of the circle, then it is line AB. In detail, you will study in circle in geometry. Okay. What is diameter? Simply the diameter is a chord. In geometry, what we define? Diameter is a chord passes through the center of the circle, or the diameter is the longest chord. Leave it longest chord. Only you see that you know that diameter is a chord passes through the center of the circle. But suppose here is point C. This is also radius. This is also radius, but this is not the diameter. To be a diameter, a straight line must passes through the center of the circle. So CA is not diameter here. CA is two line, not a single line. It is two line. It is not a diameter. It is not a diameter. But AB is a diameter. Diameter is denoted by small d or capital D. What is diameter? Diameter is a chord which passes through the center of the circle. Now see, this part is R, and this part is also R. This part is R, this part is also R, and this whole is diameter D. This line is diameter D. Now see, what is the value of D from here to here? What is the value of D? This R plus this R. It means diameter is R plus R. R plus R, that is 2R. In mensuration, we can define diameter that the double distance of radius is called diameter in mensuration. But in geometry, how we can define diameter? Diameter is a chord which passes through the center. It is geometrical definition, but in mensuration, what we know, what we define, that diameter is the double distance of radius. Diameter is double distance of radius. Here, so you can say that this is a one kind of formula also. D is equal to 2R. If you transfer these two to the left hand side, then what happens? If we transfer these two to the left hand side, then it is D by 2 is equal to R. So another formula is derived here, R is equal to D by 2. Is it clear? Okay, thank you. Now see, what is the summary of this figure? What is radius? The radius is the distance between center point and and the circumference of the circle. There are many radii in the circle. All the radii of the circle are equal. And diameter. What is diameter? Diameter is the chord which passes through the center of the circle. In this figure, AB is a line, or AB is a chord which passes through the center of the circle. That is why AB is called diameter of the circle. But here this is not a diameter. Diameter always passes through the center of the circle. So, this is the diameter. Now, this is the diameter. In diameter, if you see, there are two radius. This is also radius, this is also radius. There are two radius, and we can say that the diameter is the double distance of radius. The diameter is double distance of the radius. Here d is equal to r plus r 2r, d is equal to 2r. In this way also we can say that diameter is double distance of radius, and you can say this is a one formula also. And if you transfer this 2 to the left hand side, it will be d by 2 is equal to r, or this is also a formula, r is equal to d by 2. So, this is the derivation of, this is the relation of radius and diameter. Now, and you know that this this outer line is called circumference of the circle. We are going to find here circumference and area of the circle. Okay? Now, I am going to rough this. In circle, circumference C is equal to pi d. I know that you know what is the meaning of pi, or what is the value of pi. C is equal to pi d, or pi, write pi as it is. What is the value of d? We have derived the value of d as 2r. Now, you multiply, it will be 2 pi r. So, the formula of circumference is pi d or 2 pi r. In the form of diameter, the formula is pi d. In the form of radius, the formula is 2 pi r. Similarly, area of the circle, A is equal to, we have already, I think you know, pi r square. When radius is given, this will be the formula of area of the circle. And again we know, write this pi as it is. Again we know that r is, the value of r is d by 2, and make it square. It will be pi, whole square of d is d square, whole square of 2 is 4. It is pi d square by 4. So, this is the area of the circle which you have read in class 7 or 8. So, this is all for today, students. From tomorrow we do some numerical problem. And what is your homework? Don't say it homework, only you revise what we have discussed today here. Only you revise that by watching YouTube. Okay? What is your homework? Again you revise today's class, what we have discussed about mensuration, type of figures, which type of figure are plane figure, which type of figure are solid figure, and in plane figure what type of plane figure are there, one sided plane figure and 3 or more sided plane figure, what is perimeter, what is area, similarly what is diameter, what is radius, what is circumference, all about you revise this one. And then after from tomorrow we will do some numerical problem of plane figure. We have started circle, then after triangle, quadrilateral, parallelogram, and all. Okay. Thank you very much. Namaste.